Hi everybody and welcome back to City Skylines Castle Rock. And it's been a while since I published a video, and that was because I was on holiday, and this was recorded just before I went on holiday, where the first thing I did was to utilize a little area near the highway to build something that's supposed to be industrial zone but with offices, just to meet the demand that is pretty high at this moment. Had a little bit of an issue getting that off ramp to be on the ground rather than up in the sky, because intersections on a lifted or raised road just looks crappy, and it's a bit of a trick to get everything in here as well as possible, but in the end it's gonna be a nice little industrial area or commercial area. It's not really commercial, but you know what I mean. Offices, a lot of offices, nice place to work outside of the city next to the highway, so it shouldn't cause too many traffic issues in the long run. Very basic, nothing special here, just some streets, little pathways for walking. There's no direct connection to the tram, but it's really close to a tram intersection or a tram hub. And this area near the Albert Hall, I wanted to do something special with it, and I decided to make something grand with the landscaping tool, like a giant wedge of mountain. It's a bit out of proportion as what you would see in real life, but that kind of makes it more epic. And after all, I'm not in it for the ultra realistic experience. It also just has to look really grand. And this town is called Castle Rock for a reason. I was looking for a couple of other towers to place, but in the end I went with another castle. So it has two castles and a mansion right now, which is really lovely. And I'm not sure how the castle is called, but I've seen triangular castles like this before, and I think I saw one recently in France, but I forgot the name. Sorry about it. If it pops into my head, I will let you know in the comments. But so far it kind of slips my mind. I know I've seen one recently. I just can't remember where. Sorry about that. So once we have the castle in place, we of course gonna need some roads. And again, deviating from reality here, this one is gonna have a massive parking lot. Generally they don't have that, but this one we'll have one for the tourist, of course, because I'm just building this as a big tourist trap. The two castles and the mansion, the chateau, on the other side of town. They should really pack in the tourist, as well as the old town, which is right in the center of that rock there. And this is so easy to make. Just a couple of regular parking lots, some concrete, and those parking assets, and you've got yourself a nice parking lot. And then to make it a little bit more fun, you add some trees to make it a little bit better. You're gonna add some markings on the road. And I had to move the road there because of clipping issues. And here we're going to add this, the markings, the arrows. Try to do something that made a little bit of sense. I'm not sure if they have this abroad, but in Holland you generally have these traffic cones, especially around theme parks and zoos, that they use to manage the parking lot. So I thought it was a cool idea to add that. then we have a giant piece of land where we can add a big tower. Again, just because it looks great, and not very realistic to find a big tower like that next to an historic site, but it just looks great and it will do the area a lot of good just to have that there. It will make the land value a lot better, which in the end means that the whole area will develop just a lot better. And of course we need a little wall there to stop your cars from falling down. I think the people downstairs would appreciate that too. Then just some finishing touches where the landscape tool had raised too much. And then back to this part. This part is between the mansion and the tram station, basically. And it was useless land. So with the new, well, not new anymore, but at that time it was pretty new, football DLC, decided it was time to build a stadium there. And if my memory serves me correctly, I think I thought about that a while back, about doing that here, and finally got around to it. The stadium looks okay. It's a run-of-the-mill stadium, it's nothing special. And maybe they have now multiple options, but at that time this was the only option. I haven't started the game since I've come back. So if this sounds really stupid, then it's because I haven't checked the game. I didn't have the time yet. I'm busy editing the travel game videos and don't have time to do this as much as I would like to. So I'm just squeezing in a couple of game videos and before I continue editing the travel game videos, which are a lot more comprehensive than recording the game and narrating it. So yeah, it might be that I'm sorry about that, a little bit behind current events, as it were. But at the time I recorded this was the only stadium, and yeah, it's a nice little DLC. It's okay, it's not epic. It doesn't do what I thought it would do, in the sense that it doesn't create a sudden rush of traffic for the game. They tend to trickle in 3 months ahead of match day, which is ridiculous, but okay, it's okay. I guess we'll have to live with that. The fences aren't very straight, I just noticed. It looked a lot better on screen when while I was recording it. I really need to get that mod. And you see them already entering. And we are close to match day here. The trams still work really nice. No traffic jams in the city. Nothing else except trams. And yeah, here we go. Match day. And just look at it. It looks a little bit like football for ants. And I tried to figure out if this was just an animation or if there's actually something being calculated in the sense of football, but it just seems to be a really long loop, but just one animation, which is too bad. You can't really watch a game, it just goes back and forth. So yeah, that's too bad. It's nice that it's animated. The people in the stands are really crappy, but okay, that was to be expected. Other than that, yeah, it doesn't really add much to the game, does it? You already had stadiums. The whole match day mechanic doesn't seem to be influencing the city that much, or at least not the area. Which would have been nice if there were traffic jams because of that city, because of that match, but no, nothing like that. Unless my city is so brilliantly built that it doesn't influence that, but I doubt that. I think this is just it. And yeah, it's we have to live with this, I guess. That's a nice little add-on. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.